just a hill, rather nondescript. Beautiful view of the city. Before the Romans turned this into a place of execution, it wasn't unheard of to see families gather here together for picnics or to read or just simply reflect in prayer and study. So how is it that one event can turn a hill into an emotion? How is it that one grotesque day in time can turn a hill into a place recognized by the entire world for the rest of time? How is it that one event can turn a hill into a single word? Golgotha. He was just a man, 33 years old, a carpenter's son, normal upbringing. He learned the family trade. He worked alongside his brothers and sisters, but they always said there was something different about him. He was charismatic without being overwhelming. He was humble without appearing weak. He was intelligent without being overbearing. He was a leader without anyone to lead. He had a commanding presence, an amazing knowledge of the Torah. He was a rabbi like none we'd ever seen before. So it wasn't difficult to understand why someone would just drop everything and want to follow him, to want to become his best friend, to assume that he was going to become our next king. I mean, anyone like me would want to get in on the ground floor because Jesus was going places. It was all my fault. What is it that makes a man want to betray his best friend? That's a question that'll torment me for the rest of time. Was it greed? Would appear obvious, but it was never enough. I mean, for 3 years we were always living hand to mouth, never knowing where our next meal would be, never knowing where we could lay our head, never a place to sleep. I mean, I know we were always taken care of, but it would have been nice to know, you know? I mean, I kept the money. I watched the funds, not very hard to do when there's so little to count, so little to take. Would have been a fresh start for me. Was it jealousy? Probably. I mean, it was always James and John. You know, who's going to sit by your right side in heaven, Jesus? That infuriated me. It infuriated all of us. And then Peter joins them on some pilgrimage to who knows where. They won't tell us. But you can see it in their eyes. They've seen something. They've shared something that none of us ever will. John was always his favorite. Peter was always by his side. But I was supposed to be his right-hand man. Was it fear? You'd only have to see the size of the crowds to understand that. I mean, they gathered in numbers. I mean, the people at the Mount, the 5,000, I mean, the crowds continued to grow. They were stepping over each other to get to Jesus, pushing and shoving. There were cripples and lepers, diseases of all kinds. I mean, where did they come from? How did they know? And what are they going to do if they think we've lied? There's only 12 of us and way too many of them. Was it disappointment? Most definitely. 3 years culminated by entering the city with the full attention of the crowd to finally take what was rightfully ours. And I don't think it hit me until this very moment, and I was right in the middle of it, the screaming and the people on both sides and the palm branches that Zechariah had prophesied it over 500 years ago. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion, daughter of Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and with salvation, gentle and riding on a donkey. A donkey! He had them in the palm of his hand. If he wanted to lead, they would have followed. If he wanted an army, they would have fought. Hundreds of years of oppression, yearning for God to rule from the throne, culminating in this very moment. And nothing! It only made the Romans and the Pharisees just that much more defiant, that much stronger. This was supposed to be our time. This was supposed to be our country. This was supposed to be our king. But now I'm just tired, Jesus. This is not how it was supposed to be. This is not what I signed up for. Why me? Why is it my name that goes down in history as meaning traitor, betrayer? When it was everyone's sins that put you here. Let him who is without sin cast the first stone, remember? It was just a hill. Or was it? He was just a man. Was he? It was all my fault. It was all my fault. Or was it?